looking for a way right back to you. I wish that I was through with it, so you better stop making me a lunatic.
Hey, look, Menulog.
What can we expect from this game?
You can expect focus and retrospection, but mainly focus.
All the big words, all the mental hindsight. Fantastic. All right, Kudum, well, it looks like you've been focused. The coaching buff has been activated. We're going to crack on with this game, and I wish you boys the best of luck going forward.
Focus.
Well, that's first blood going to Chiefs.
That was something. What an interview. That one has to be written in the history books. Now, that was a lovely break. Hysterics was telling me about his legit nudes, but we got a game to get into. Do you want to tell him about that before we jump into the game?
I said my legit noodles. I'm eating noodles. And I said my noodles were legit.
That's what I said.
Yeah, legit noodles.
Legit nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, dude. 100%. Yeah, they're good. They're pretty good.
I love some legit
love
nudes
them.
as well. Yeah, I'm sure I would. Now, let's jump on into the game.
Next time.
Look, production's had enough of us. We're just jumping straight into the roster. Chiefs, Rusty, tell me why they're going to get that dub today.
I mean, so far, Chiefs have looked completely unbeatable, right? They've got such strong strategic diversity. We've seen Arthur step up to the plate and have a big carry performance. He was one of the places we were like, he's a bit of a passenger, right? And the rest of the team was starting to lift, but Arthur's into the mix. Dragku's been on an absolute tear lately. You heard him in interviews saying that he felt like he was the weaker link, but he's stepped up huge, and now the bot lane of the Chiefs is unstoppable. Like, it's actually genuinely almost impossible to fault the Chiefs right now in the LCO for anyone that goes up against them. You just have to be better on the day, right? Because they're just good.
Let's see if they are going to be better on the day, and the team that they're playing is Order. So, we love Kevlin. We love it when it slides through. We love everything that Order have been bringing to the table as of late. But Jake, tell me, what is your favorite thing?
It's the same as everyone else's. While you talk about Kevlin, I like that one. It's Puma. Puma's last game of Ezreal, and his games throughout the split have been insane. I remember seeing this guy, towards his early days and seeing the potential, and here in the LCO, he is kicking butt. Corporal as well, kind of attaching himself to this player. I feel like Corporal's really worked into the league. Coming from the LJL, he was on a middling team, and as he comes back to the LCO, he's got a really strong AD carry by his side. Yeah. And through laning, I feel like he's been doing so well.
This is one of those bot lanes, right, where start of the split, Puma was definitely pumping numbers. Corporal seemed a little weak around the rift, but then there was that sort of second round, and that's when things really started to fire up. Order, finding a bit more consistency, although the last time they did go head-to-head with Chiefs, it was a fat L. But it almost wasn't. It was a very, very close affair, and then the wipe-up happens here. Jake, not sure if you saw this one, but after this team wipe, it's just straight down mid. Raze was just running and ended it before the respawn tap.
I actually missed this one because it was the Biopanther Nasus game, and it was during the first of the LPL Super Week, so I missed it. Yeah. And I'm hoping we get something similar again, right? Lots of pockets come through, but these teams are close, and I like that Order coming through. We get to finish on this game because we've had 3 under 25-minute games so far. I think they've all been under 25 minutes.
They certainly have. So maybe this could be another affair to, really tantalize those taste buds for you guys out there. And look, that's enough out of us. Let's hear it now from the players.
They're just a stock standard 5v5 team, so if we just have good preparation before the game, we should be able to overtop them, to be honest.
I think Order is top 3 team, and I think if their mid jungle get advantage from early game, they can snowball.
Order are definitely a players contender. Their performances recently have been very subpar. I thought they were a much better team than what they've been showing. Puma is someone we have to look out for, but then again, I'm not worried because I trust in my bot lane to win against anyone at the moment. I think they're playing extremely well.
Individually, I feel like I'm just better than Topun in every single way. I feel like he's very greedy with how he plays, and he relies so heavily on certain things happening to get ahead. It's kind of sinful, to be honest.
He makes me tilt because he doesn't try it. I really want to solo kill.
Well, you say it's just a Kevy show, but I feel like you guys are disregarding the rest of the team, and you're going to watch the biggest team gap you've ever seen.
Bio is gonna be hard to solo kill, so you guys gonna watch me taking turret.
We don't really have to outplay them. We just have to exist and we win.
I don't know which bloody lane I'm more excited to watch. There's matchups in mid, there's matchups in jungle, there's matchups top and bot. There's just so many fun things about this matchup. So, Rusty, tell me, which one's your favorite?
I mean, after the words we just heard from BioPanther, I'm looking top. Just straight up top lane. Bio saying that he's a sinful top laner, top earn, that he's beatable, and that he's got so many things that can be taken down. So, I mean, I wasn't thinking top, but now I am. I've immediately pivoted.
Okay, well, let's have a look at some of BioPanther's stats, because this seems to be one of the key matchups. If BioPanther plays his best damn game against Tapoon, it's still going to be a tough time for him. But look, Rusty, take me through these stats. What do they mean, and what has Bio been doing right?
Yeah, so Bio is funny when it comes to stats, because he's not going to have anything that stands out as like, he's so good at this, or he is so crazy at this. BioPanther's biggest strength is that he is just so good at playing standard League of Legends, and improves on the little details more than most other top laners can do, right? Like, he just has the 1%ers so nailed that it's hard to actually beat him. So CS at 15, he's only 3 ahead. Kill participation, pretty standard for a top laner as well. They're not often involved in a lot of the early plays, and teleport's gone, so don't be surprised if that number average goes down. His KDA is solid, right? But there's also been times where he could have been more aggressive. There's times where maybe he should have been more passive. There's lanes that he's getting dove 3 times every 15 minutes. So he's just kind of evened out to being a really good, solid, reliable top laner, I feel like is the word I would use.
Okay, now a question I have, right? So you say it's all about, you know, the bare bones League of Legends. You know, we're talking about wave states and going up against like Tapoon. Is it going to really rely on sort of that first level 2 ding, like that fight? Are we going to see it sort of be all about the wave? Is that where the lane may just be, you know, decided?
I mean, I feel like level 2 fighting is more heavily emphasized in bottom lane just because you have double the amount of spells that get used, right? So I actually think for top lane, it depends so much on matchups and how he plays this one out. I would like to see BioPanther actually pick like the Graves and just be the more aggressive of the two. Okay. Because what Tapoon excels at is building, stacking waves and crashing that with his jungler nearby. You know, playing for Heralds at 8 minutes, not always flipping the bot lane up to help them so that he can win turrets himself.
Well, let's see how that works out. But first, we have an interview to get to, and that means we're bringing Kitty back onto the desk, back onto the bloody stream. Kitty, how you doing, and who do you have for the pre-match?
Hello guys, I'm feeling quite tired as it is approaching the end of the night, but someone who isn't feeling tired because they have a match to play is Tally, so let's bring him in for the interview. Hi Tally, how are you feeling being last game of the day?
Actually, I dislike playing last a lot. I just feel so exhausting just watching all the games, and just I feel tired at this point, honestly. Like, I'd rather be like the first game, like every time.
Well, hopefully you guys don't go to 40 minutes order again, but let's talk about what Cheese has achieved. So congrats on being the first team to secure playoffs. You guys also have the longest win streak in the LCO so far, currently sitting on 9 victories in a row. How does the team plan on maintaining this performance?
I just think that we've become a very consistent team recently, and I think that we just have to keep having good performances, and we'll just keep showing wins, and I just think it'll be very comfortable staying for us until playoffs from now on.
And being previous teammates with Tapoon and Raze previously on Legacy, who has attended Worlds during 2020, has your playstyle as a mid laner changed in the past 2 years?
Oh, I'd say definitely. I think that when I played with Jihoon and Quinn back on Legacy, I was a much more top-centric, roam-focused mid laner. I think that now I've transitioned more into I can play a lot more of the scaling champions. I don't really have to be an early game player anymore to help my team. I trust that they can perform even without my help. So I'm glad that I was able to pick up a different style.
I'm still waiting for you to pick that Galio TF combo like we saw back in the days. But best of luck, and going into order tonight, I'm gonna see you on the other end.
Thank you very much.
I don't know about you guys, but I was mesmerized by Raze just alt-tabbing constantly through a window into the next window into the next window, still watching the stream at the same time as watching the Discord at the same time as bloody getting ready to jump into the game, and just going back and forth. I was like, oh, gee, it's, man, bloody, Crazy with it. Now, look, you guys at home, you're pretty crazy with it too, and I think you've been pretty on the money with the Dare fan vote this evening. So let's see if you can keep it up. Make sure you get those points in up there. Predictions, they're open. Get your predictions in, and we can see how this one goes. In terms of what you guys think.
What did I pick? I actually can't remember.
You can't remember.
I can't. Did I do order just to be edgy?
Well, fortunately...
Hey, no, Skibby. We're getting points, dude. Don't worry.
Ooh, and this, I believe, I can quote Kitty on this one. All right, it's time to tank them. Let's keep it spicy. Is that what you said?
Well, I said I was going to burger flip it because Chiefs has the... well, every game Chiefs has played played Order, they've always gone to 40 minutes. Order has the... I don't know what's happening with me tonight, but Order has the only great time against Chiefs, you know, bringing to 40 minutes. I feel like they are Chiefs' kryptonite.
Yeah.
So I'm going to burger flip it. You know, I'm already ahead of Skimmy for like maybe 3 wins, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to just flip it.
Big flip. You know, you got that Direwolves over the Kanga pick from earlier, so that one worked out. Let's see if this one works out. Now, I don't think Champions Select is too far away, but do you think we're going to see something spicy again coming out from Bio? Because the Nasus worked perfectly. Jake, look, I know you're not a local here anymore. You know, for
a local,
for LCO at least. What do you want to see him play?
Well, apart from Nasus, honestly, like, I remember Biopanther on the Cho'Gath, and we're getting tanks back up to the top side. I hope that doesn't happen. I remember watching both these top laners, like Topoon, Biopanther, both came from the OCS. Both casted them back in 2017, 2018. I remember the Cho'Gath, I remember the Scion.
Jake, this isn't what I asked. This is too long of a story. Champ Select's ready. Maybe tell people that care.
Don't ask me questions next time, then. Go away, grizzly man with hair on his chest. All right. For everyone else who shaves,
back to the chest there.
Rusty, well, because Rusty, you have none and you're flaunting it. Welcome back into Pick Ban. Evelyn is banned from Kevy, and I respect that as we enter it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get rid of the Kevy Evelyn. It's almost become so synonymous saying Kevelyn that yesterday I was listening to Skibby and Kitty almost unable to say Kevy and Evelyn as two separate words. So it's a good ban. I'm glad it's taken away from Order. If you're a Chiefs fan as well here, the Caitlyn going to be removed. That does mean that you've got your standard AD matchups. And I feel like now that we've got two of our top of the table teams against each other, draft just tends to make a little bit more sense here, right? With the AD carries that we're seeing locked in. Also with the Lee Sin from Arthur, because lately he has been a monster on this specific.
Yeah, he has top jungle here for the Chiefs, and what really swung me around for the vote. On the other side, though, you can believe the Order bottom lane that has the strength now with the Lulu Jinx. So I feel like playing towards the strength of both these teams already been achieved. We also get the Heck Room here for Kevy, so already comp makes a lot of sense, as you were just saying.
Thresh still available, so Nautilus is just a much more aggressive, like, wants to punish the Lulu type of option here. I do think, this is a personal opinion, and I'm going to stand by this for the moment until I'm proven otherwise, that blind picking Lulu is bad. If Nautilus and Leona exist, you can blind pick Lulu into 4 or 5 bans, I think, and get away with it. But the fact that Lulu exists when Nautilus can be picked into it means that you're picking a very losing lane state with potential to scale into being more relevant later as time goes on, right? But like, even a late game Nautilus is relevant. You can have your stopwatch, have your big team fight engaged with. So I will always prefer the Chiefs draft in that respect. But we have to look at what happens in the 4-5 picks here to really make this work, because the Lulu's picked for the Hecker and not just the Chiefs lane.
Also, Draco, I think it was him before. We're looking at support jungle proximity stats, and I believe it was Draco who was sitting high. Nautilus leads in a great duo to roam about the enemy jungle. Looking forward to that at the very least as we go to the next pick ban. You've already got Tryndamere taken off the board. Vex as well. Mid/top laners, if you want to put it that way. And we were talking about the solo lanes being a bit spicy here. We are going down the champion pool. All mids look to be banned away.
Yeah, Vega's still an option that Tally will always consider, so just keep that in mind. Vex and Corki being banned, however, to me is an indicator that you're getting a more aggressive mid, because I feel like you're just getting rid of things that either counter dash champions or counter scaling options. So I'm still looking at what they're going to pick next. Gwen gone, a lot of AP top options have been removed. There are a couple of people who have practiced the Rumble, right? Practiced the cannon, but we've never really seen it yet in the LCO. And the Tryndamere being taken away here from Order, also going to go with that Jace, so physical top lane champions that can be flexible, also being targeted, which is why I bring that up.
So what do you want here from the Chiefs? We need a solo laner.
I mean, I personally would just like a Syndra type mid, right? Like just a standard mid lane option, I think would be fine. Topoon probably does want the counter pick. However, things like Graves are still up and ready, right? So it could just be a Graves 4P into a mid counter, but as you can tell, so many mid options that are still just as strong in general worth picking.
Yeah, Ari makes a return here for Tally. On the other side, we've already seen the matchup versus LeBlanc. It is still up and available, but does this suit Order?
It's something that I think Kise would play, but I don't know how much practice he's got on it lately. I would like a setup champion, I think, or something that can work really nicely with the Hecarim when it comes to either priority, so like your Ryze, like your standard Silas into Ari as you're seeing, and something that can work nicely if they're moving around the map together. We also, I think it was yesterday, Hysterics heard from Order saying that they really like Silas with the Nautilus ultimate, because it just means that in a mobile carry or very low mobility carry is locked down without a doubt.
And it does so much damage. The AP scaling on Naut ulti is massive from the Silas's angle, so also is a real dead charge. As you wanted to see Biopanther on that Graves up in the top lane, we want to see what Topoon can challenge him with, because Graves often has been so safe within the laning phase itself, and this would really put the threshold on how strong Chief's top jungle could be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big lock-in from the side of Topoon. He could have defaulted to something more like the Nara if he wanted, but Graves tends to have a great time there. Jace was banned away. I think Jace is kind of your staple response to the Graves at the moment. Just a free scaling top lane option. Camille is much more, like, I want to say can be flexible, right? Because you can play for side lane, or you can do your Titanic Hydra team fight type of composition. But they don't have a specific combo with it. So I think the Camille lockdown could just be to, play out your top lane matchup, have an Ahri, have a Lee Sin that have pick potential, and then just look for flanks in team fights, not really forcing team fights.
Because on the other side, it looks pretty standard from Order. We have Silas, we have Graves. We have angles that it's obvious that are going to be disrupting, while Puma sticks close to Corporal.
Yeah, it does feel very front to back Order, right? Like, there's not a lot to say about it. It's a strong 4-stack, good team fighting, good scaling. A lot of good ultimates to steal from Kise on Silas. There's like the Graves can be isolated. As long as he's doing okay in his 1v1 early, then he'll be fine scaling. There's just a lot of good things there from the side of Order. For Chiefs, I feel like the execution is just a little bit harder on their end. But if they're able to get that execution going, if they snowball, we mentioned top lane already, if Camille gets ahead, she just one-hits you. Hullbreaker doesn't matter, he does true damage. There's a crazy amount of things that can get done up there.
And that's why going into the game, Biopanther versus Topoon, that little hype up. I love that piece of content. Two of the top laners in the league that, we always talk about. Topoon at the moment, looking towards the top tier. Biopanther, you and I were having a chat. Biopanther's not like he was in 2020. He's not the best within the league, undoubtedly. There's a lot of great top laners in the LCO right now, and I feel like his position's been contested for a little bit.
I do agree with you completely, right? I mean, when we were talking about this, it's funny because it was almost reflected through the player interview coming into this game. Topoon saying, I want to solo kill Biopanther, but he never trades. Yeah. Where I feel like the Biopanther that we saw last year was getting solo killed, right? Like, was being pretty aggressive in his lane. It was also just immovable if junglers came up to try and gank him. So, not the exact same brand of top laner, but people change styles to fit their team all the time.
That's right, and with the new team here in Chiefs versus Order, I want to see who can rise to the top in the final game of your Super Week. Starting out your third round robin, for you LCO fans, we give you Chiefs versus Order. I'm also told that we're going to have a little bit of a chat with Kuden. Now, as we get Kuden on the line, what are your thoughts? What were you saying the other day? What was the word that you were putting into our mouths? I need to even scroll down chat here, Kuden. You're going to have to give me a second. You're going to have to deal with it. They've been saying it all day. Focus. How's the focus today?
Good.
Good. Great. That was a great interview. I'll see you next time. No, Kuden, I've got a real question for you, and I need you to actually answer it for me. Running into this game, talk to me a little bit about draft, because you guys running Ahri, Camille in the side lanes, feels like a very different approach.
Yes. Yes, it is. What was that question?
Do you remember me? I got to. Do you remember me, Kuden? Do you remember me from the old days?
I remember everyone from those.
Okay, let's see how your focus goes. Thank you, Kuden, for the best interview I've ever had. Thank you for making me feel welcome.
Godlike.
Okay, thank you again. That was Kuden.
That was.
Does that happen all the time?
Every time. Were you not warned?
I was, but last time at least he gave me focus.
Yeah, no, you get what you get.
What the hell?
Such is the life of interviewing the coach of the Chiefs. In case you weren't aware, he is also getting a pentakill this year, so that's how confident the Chiefs are that they're going to win most games. Everyone on the team's getting a penta. Nice hook to kick it off.
Yeah, it was. Trading's actually been going through that interview as well. Corporal flashes away, Ignite down, Raze. Pretty low though, and Puma, who we talked about in a great position. Dragku gonna have to burn that summoner. The heal comes through from Raze. They want to turn it around as Lethal Tempo continues pushing through. And the 2v2 spikes then up to open us into game.
Unfortunately, there will be a pause straight after that one, but I love the aggression from both bottom lanes. Chiefs, obviously, you're on the Nautilus, right? You want to be throwing the hooks. Lulu is a great target for it. And now that you've got the flash off the Lulu, let alone the potions, if you take quick stock of that one, no potions left from Order. I mean, it's a playground for a Nautilus, right? You're able to hit more hooks. You have the aftershock advantage. You're not going to die where they are at high risk of it. That follow-up from Puma was to get the heal, it almost felt like, right? If you don't heal, Dragku dies. And so that equalizes the summoner spells almost between bottom laners. So I like that from Puma, even though it does result in a bit of a health disadvantage for him.
And just looking at summons cross board, looks like 2 trade in the end. Yeah, they did warn me, by the way, about the Kuden interview, but unfortunately, I didn't realize it was going to be even more bare bones than, what was it, yesterday or the day before. So.
He gave us a new catchphrase. I don't know if you caught that one at the last second.
Didn't. What was it?
Godlike. That's just the word that he dropped.
Right. Good. Because I asked about focus and we didn't get anywhere there, so. Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Kuden again. I guess if you can't. No. I don't want to throw any shade back. Otherwise I'll never come back here. When was the last time you played, Rusty?
Kuden?
Yeah.
2018? 2018?
It's been a while, okay.
It has been a while, yeah.
Tom's looking good side. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Chiefs versus Order. Pause done with. And we just saw a pretty aggressive trade in the bottom side. It was a 2 for 3, actually, against Order as Arthur's come to the bottom side. Dragku on no HP comes in. He'll trade his life, but it is Corporal getting the kill versus Arthur. A 1-for-1 trade with First Blood going to Chiefs.
Yeah, you like the outcome of that if you are Arthur, like you highlighted. I do still advocate for supports getting early kills being fine. It's not affecting the lane, right? If it's a jungler versus support, you're still getting extra money, and the Lulu wants that extra money pretty badly. So it gets a refillable potion, has the control wood there, and a bit of extra mana regeneration. But this Lee Sin, it may be 7 jungle CS. That's now much more significant than that after the reset.
Kevy coming down. He's going to be spotted on a ward. Dragku's just respawned. It's a level 2. Running after this little Hecarim. Raze won't be able to follow up with Gravitum as he just changed over. So looks like jungle attention simmering down to the bottom lane, especially Rusty when we talked about this being about topside, being about top boon here for Chiefs especially. They're going to ignore that for now and continue focusing right down here.
Yeah, it may be 4 top boon, but it doesn't necessarily reflect through the way that, like, pathing.
Ignites down. Yeah, Kisei. That was simply done. Tally didn't have to burn a sweat for the solo kill.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk about mid much just yet. That's a turret shot in top lane as well. Top boon is definitely reeling. He'll have to use his potions to stay in lane. For mid lane, this is not the first time we have seen Ahri against Sightless. The last time we saw an Ahri against the Silas, I believe it was Chungi from Kanga playing against Appy from Peace. He ran Ignite on the Ahri, he solo killed him and took away the entire game. Just snowballed every lane from it. It was unstoppably large. The Ignite is such a large difference maker in this lane. And we spoke about this earlier today, Hysterics, but the base damage buffs from Ahri's abilities being less charm reliant has done wonders for this 1v1. Nice hook.
Yeah, another good hook coming through from Dragku on a bit of a tear. Puma in a bit of trouble as Gravitum lands down. Raze pokes him with one bit of Infernum. Order again. There's no heal in this bottom lane, only the flash. And it looks like Raze and Dragku on their own little tear.
They pick the Nautilus into the Lulu. They're playing aggressive. This is what you want to see from them. I'm so glad that you're seeing that play style actually happen, because a lot of sinning happens in the LCO where enchanters just freely scale.
Yeah.
and have a very free time down there. So the aggression, we like it. We like what the Chiefs are doing. The early trade there as well means that dangerously got another hook.
Like this, I mean, onto the Enchanter again. It's easy. Is that Dredge line and Raze with the target selection, forcing the flash out of Puma in the meantime. This is gorgeous to watch the 2v2 play out.
I think if that flamethrower connected there from Raze, it was so close to hitting. There would have been the Gravitum activation and potentially a second kill. Corporal gets punished. Hecarim bottom.
Yeah, there's a Hex Flash coming through. Does he change around? Draku wants the solo kill. It is a solo kill as Raze goes back to now Kevy for the chase up, but Arthur is on the way. Kisei won't be there in time. A bit of damage with Conqueror, the root down. Arthur for the counter play. Draku can't get the Dredge line in time, but the Sonic Wave turns into a resonating strike. A safeguard, a punch in the face, and that horse becomes me.
I mean, both times they're just moments away from potentially being saved, but the hook doesn't come out from Draku. If that hits, he might be able to disengage and walk out of the Q range of a Hecarim. If the Lulu was 100 units closer, there could have been a shield that potentially keeps Kevy alive. But now it is just a 2-0. Lee Sin running around the map. Big trade.
One again. Spirit Rush stolen away. Kisei has his own. Tally's got 2 more charges. Draku moving to the mid lane, holding off for now as the wave crashes on in. It's going to stop right there. Early action this time, Rusty. Chiefs with a bit of advantage in this early game and looking to keep the tempo going.
Kisei holding the ultimate there, I do think is a win overall for the 1v1. Draku coming in. He is just going to help clear the wave. That aggression mid, note Tally was like 10 seconds from the ignite total. That could have been another kill for sure. Or at least it would have forced the ult response from Kisei. But bot lane is the only place that we can talk about. It's just continuing to happen. Draku's unleashed right now, man. These gym sessions, he's just bulked out of his mind. His Diz on patrol.
You were talking about him at the start of this little segment. Talking about how Draku recently has been pretty cracked. So nice to see that the support's running into the game the same way. Arthur the same, really. That's why Chiefs sitting on top of the standings. The only team to lock in playoffs is trying to build up the momentum in the early game once again. How does this work out?
X-Flash is so invaluable for situations like this. So you can see him get behind the range minions, throw the hook.
And it begins. Dredge line again onto Puma. The traps help him out, but Arthur, even after going over it, wants that Sonic Wave to connect. The kicks a 2-man. Beautiful stuff. Even after the play was halted, Chiefs continue to skyrocket through.
And listen, I'm just going to be the first to say it. I've been advocating for this for weeks, but look what happens when someone picks Lulu blind.
True.
Tell me that's not just apt punishment from the side of Chiefs. Lulu is sinning. It scales incredibly well, but if you get away with it, it's great. They are not getting away with it today.
Oh, they're getting obliterated. Raze and Draku, their laning phase has gone from good to great, even after Puma and Corporal got those trades off earlier on. But you can see that Arthur's attention has not escaped any other lane apart from bot. He's 3-0 Rusty, and he might not have the CS to match Kevy, but he's sure as hell making Raze have a great game.
Topian is going to spot this one. Tally on the collapse as well. Arthur, note that they're not alone. They will get here before the Herald falls. The fight's on.
Hextech Ultimatum is available there. Misses, but onto Kevy wants to slow down. They zone orders Jungler away. The rest of the team coming on in as Herald is stolen away. Should make a death rocket onto Draku. He flashes, trying to survive, but the Hextech Ultimatum locks down Kisei. Kevy's going to be next on the menu, and Biopanther runs in with no mana. Tally cleaning up for the resets, and that shutdown means nothing on Corporal. A double, making the final kill. Go over to Draku. Chiefs are here to play.
The Chiefs are wiping the floor with order. This is an 8-minute flip. It's the standard Herald map play. Lulu not here first, though. Chiefs have the numbers advantage. It's 4 versus 3. Even with a hook shot missing, even with a Nautilus hook missing, he'll get the aftershock. The Jinx ultimate will come through, but he'll just survive. That gives him another rotation of spells. Ahri will get into the mix. Toppin and Arthur can dive together. Bio flashes into a hook and just dies. Every possible thing, even with misclicks or miss skill shots, if it's auto dodging it doesn't matter. Everything's going right for the Chiefs.
1-0-2 on the Camille, 3-1 and 4, 3-0-1. The only one without kills is Raze, but it doesn't matter. Chiefs with a 3k gold lead in this early game. Remember what you and I were saying? This should be the matchup that doesn't look one-sided. Well, all of a sudden, at almost 10 minutes in, with the Herald going bot, this looks one-sided.
No, but listen to me, man. Draku's getting MVP even if they lose already. Just for the first 9 minutes of this game. That is non-negotiable production.
Agreed. Flash, Tally going for it. Kisei short of the range of the Sonic Wave. And you're right. 3, 2, and 5. He's got a bounty. And that's so deserved.
A support has about... Oh, there's too many people. Oh, 4 people from
Never
order.
mind, it's Dragku. You're optimistic on this. Depth charge stolen away with the AP conversion. He gets blasted. The ulti from Raze. Interrupted by the wild growth, or at least he was. He's getting poked down. He flashes through, and Super Mega Death Rocket already been used. Order with a couple of good picks. Try and bring this game back into fruition.
All right, we've cast a cursed him. No more MVP for Dragku.
Oh, no.
Let's see if he goes back to good play now that we've taken it away from him. Either way, it's a good move from Order. A really nice play, right? They just find a moment. They even skirt around some vision from the Chiefs to get 4 people to the bottom tri-bush. And they just catch the Chiefs completely unprepared for that situation. Only 1 kill, but 2 summoners from Raze as well. Means that that bot lane Herald summon gets a couple of plates, a couple of bits of gold, but that's equalized almost instantly.
Which is important, because Order, like, they're falling out of hand. This game was running away from them. They had a Jinx who wasn't getting many resources, and as we look at the bottom side play, now because of it, Order seem like they're picking up items. Trinity Force here for Kevy. And Rusty, I want to point out, we've got a Dragon in about 20 seconds as well, so curious to see if that means Order can now contest, or at least look for a counterplay.
One thing that often goes overlooked as well for the Hull Breaker is that you are still fighting fit, right? It is not that you are hard stuck into a side lane from this. It's a cheap item spike. You can get it like you're seeing at 11 minutes with the 1 kill. That's really fast. So you win lane. You open prior for objectives as well. And if Topun wants, he can just push that wave in and come back for a Drake reset if he really needed to be there for the 5v5. The question is, what does Order want to do? Because this is a hard top dive. It's almost unrealistic unless Topun goes crazy with it. And they know they're not contesting the Drake.
Yeah, Kevy just thinking about it. So yeah, Dragon going to be given over to Chiefs. Kevy takes away the camp. Ping's now coming through. How crazy is crazy? Still has Ignite. Under turret, they want to take this. Especially with the
ult.
plating still available.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Camille with ultimate
Scary.
is probably undiveable unless you have 3 people, but the hookshot's gone.
Oh, well, there's the third one. Onto Kirsay. The ultimate needs to come through. Onto the mid lane. Silas. He's stuck in the chamber, but Kevy took the turret, and the lucky number comes through.
That's it. I mean, Topun just did not hold his resolve, right? Uses the E, maybe just thinks there's only 2 people. Maybe he chooses to try and take a fight before the Silas gets there. Whatever the decision may be, the hookshot goes wide, and now he doesn't have a disengage tool. The smoke screen was perfect from Order. It means that no one's going to be able to stop him from actually getting a Hecarim dash off, right? And there's no chance to Hextech ultimatum dodge that. Well played from the side of Order again. Getting those kills, still losing objectives, losing gold around the map, but finding something where perhaps there wasn't any.
That's right, creating their opportunities here. Biopantha able to pick up his first item as well. You mentioned Chief making a trade, or at least a beneficial gold trade. Bottom side turret dropping down, mid lane plates being threatened again. And every single time there's always a response here from Chiefs in this early game. And I'm curious because we've got a Herald coming up at about 1:30. Curious to see what Order's next move is, because you talked about it a lot in the draft. It's a very simple composition from Order. They have to bide their time. They have to get this front-to-back team fight. There's no one really online to make that happen this early on.
Yeah, they have to really get their item spikes, I think, first and foremost. They want Jinx and Lulu to come online, and those two have been put a little bit far behind here, considering that they lost an entire turret for 1 plate as a transaction. Particularly the Lulu will have a kill, so we'll get to the Mythic in short order, but you can't compare Jinx and Aphelios at the current moment as they stand next to each other in lane. Ball still in the Chiefs' court.
Boom are going to get locked down here, and yeah, they want to start it up. Dracu runs into the traps. Luckily enough, turret was already on Raze as they continue to step forward. Turret plating available for 10 more seconds, and the Infernum Splash is doing more than Puma's doing at the moment anyway.
Yeah, this pressure can continue, right? It may not be for turret plates, but if you keep it isolated in a 2v2, or like what Arthur is doing, he sits there and matches where Kevy goes and just stops any Hecarim ganks. You do feel like until a reset, this is winning for Chiefs, so staying on the map was a strategy they could have considered. It does seem like this time around they will be able to go for the free reset after just having control of their waves. Nonetheless, still in a very good position here, and for the side of the Chiefs, I don't think they're relying on any kind of spike timings. The fact that they're ahead does all of the work. It's about what they do on the map and how they play to try and continue this lead forward.
Biopantha continues trying to trade off against Topun. It's an item for an item, but there is the Hull Breaker here. We give him the benefit while he's isolated. I think the biggest thing for me is that, you know, what we've expected out of this game has kind of come true, right? We know that from here on, Order are going to be reliant on Puma, on Corporal, how they get into the game and how they pick these items up. But Chiefs, Arthur and Topun once again have been a big deal. But I will say, you know, Tally, great in the laning phase. The solo kill meant so much. And remember that still needs to be talked about being one of the best mids in the league.
Yeah, the solo kill really started the flow off, right? Like, he just has so much control of mid that starts to bleed out everywhere. You've got so much aggression from bottom, and no need for Arthur to play from mid to bottom. He can just go straight bot because Tally's doing it all. Just kind of being able to skip steps, play the best League of Legends they can because their laners are winning. That's a trend we've seen a lot of today, to be honest. A lot of just winning 1v1 lanes, meaning a significant amount of difference for jungle.
We've had like lopsided matchups where lane difference is just converted into full game different, full team different. As Everfrost's going to come through, Kise wants to try, but Arthur's there to kick away. Wild Growth buys a bit of time. In fact, will keep him alive. Arthur takes the final turret shot as Herald's trying to bash away at that inner, but Order successfully defends after using a hell of a lot of tools to do it. But look, mid just goes down anyway.
I'm surprised. I'm genuinely very surprised Puma didn't just chuck an ult top lane. That was a kill, right? If you're actually able to hit Tally or Arthur there's a high chance that a kill goes your way, but he's so stuck with the pressure happening mid that I don't think he was even aware that the fight was happening top lane. But like you rightly highlight, the mid out is gone, the pressure continues. Drake in 38 seconds, and big items across the board here. Actually, we're getting mythics, I think, for every single person in the map now. This is one of the points where Order may try and at least set up first.
You're going to have to watch Heavy's ultimate here on the Hecarim. Been a relatively quiet game considering Arthur has been on the screen the most. But as Order run into River, the vision set up trying to contest as they take so much poke damage. And yeah, grouping up as a 5-man Order, trying to play that front to back we talked about.
And you can't engage by using a Hecarim ultimate onto an Ahri. You do have other options, but at the same time, Nautilus ult being stolen does seem like that's going to be the major port of call here for how they start this fight off. Still just grouped as 5. Still just standing together in the river. Topoon's got flank angles. Chiefs are the ones to start this off.
Ali on the right wing as well. Kise walking into that one, into the charm. The Everfrost, massive value. Draco getting the Oli Topoon running in, but the Hecarim ulti from Kevy, absolutely beautiful. Raze now flashing away. The Hextech ultimate building the space. Topoon still healthy enough. Tally at full HP, and Arthur moves back to the Dragon, the third one to be secured. Chiefs are running into it, and Tally does it again. The mid laner, the veteran. Chiefs the best team for a reason. Order walk into their river at their time, and they pay the iron price.
Charm going to hit there as well. The last kill comes across, and Order get completely aced by Chiefs. Dragon secured as well, Hysterics. It is now 3 Drakes on the board, and you cannot ask for more from this roster. And that just starts from Tally hitting an Everfrost into a charm. Topoon's not even ready. Topoon is still walking the long way around, just biding his time. In 5 seconds we fight, but Tally says no. The charm's good, we're going. The Hecarim ultimate was good, and the fact that the hook shot didn't actually get max distance, there's just that moment, right, where you're like, maybe Order. They've got the first kill, maybe they have a shot, but Ari's got resets. You know, welcome to 2022 Ari. Finds another charm, Raze hits the snipe shot, and that's it. The re-engage too strong from the side of Chiefs. No shot from Order, unfortunately for them.
Watching Tally put on a masterclass. I mean, the days of this man, you know, in Legacy, like, doing the same thing, such a core focus. We've been talking a lot about Arthur, a lot about Topoon recently, especially with how they've been playing the dynamic. But Tally has been this, what would you call it? Solid rock.
Yeah.
For Chiefs, and another reason why this team's so good.
Most solid rocks that you find in League are in top lanes as well. So
yep,
it's very rare to get to say that you've got just a consistently good and exactly what a team needs type of player. He adapts his play style to rosters as well. So you can't ask for much more. Talio is always a dependable player. The flexibility, the experience that he has as well just means volumes, and you can see that reflected through competitive games.
After he did so much in the fight, Polymorph comes through. Teleport from Order. They want to force this. Despite being 7,000 gold down at 19 minutes, Order are going to teleport in. But that means that right now, Topoon's going to have a great time on the bottom side, knowing only Biopanther can join. Tally in a weird position, but to be fair, it's an Ahri. With ult, with flash, he can just run his way out.
They forced the ultimate at the very least. 2 charges left for that one without the resets here for Tally, so I do think that is just going to be the Ariel fizzle. Chiefs are going to push mid lane, red-white. Ready to go if they wanted.
Puma doesn't want to walk up this wave. Kise from the angle, but Tarek goes down anyway. Inner means 7,500 gold. Being consistent with the lead here for Chiefs. They're on soul point. They have the game in their basket. I do like, however, Rusty Order is still grouping up through mid. There's a teleport from both teams. We're getting physical once again as Kisei has stolen the Spirit Rush. Topoon now spotted out though. Kevy's running at him with a hook shot and walk shot away. Kisei still chasing. 1, 2, 3, abscond of Duck. Everfrost buying time. Hextech ultimatum. He's 1v2ing while the rest of the Chiefs are turning onto Corporal. Drag through there with Wild Growth being used on the own support. Topoon still alive. Order tried, but they can't get this top laner. As the ult away from Kevy and Kisei, gonna deal with the real thing. Tally back with the ulti so soon. The charm comes out. Topoon taking him down, and Dragku building the space.
And just watch Tally, because he does still have a reset on one ultimate here. The rest of his team is going to be doing Baron, but you know that he could play zone defense if he wants. Instead, they are just going to walk their way over to the Baron pit. Order tries so hard to find the flank, to find the one person separated from the herd.
Oh, Dragku Fire Panther trying to build that space once again, but Baron goes down.
I mean, that was also a Gravitum cannon. There was a chance they chase him there. Chiefs will choose to just disengage here, Hysterics, and while they have the Baron in hand, we've just skyrocketed to 10,000 gold as well. This is really, for me, the moment. Like, the last Drake was a big moment, but Order are desperate, right? So if this works, they see Topoon on a flank, they attack the flank. But keep your eyes on the rest of the team as they go for Topoon. They've just used 17 million dashes and a ghost to get there. Dragku just Nautilus ults Puma. Corporal just gets completely cut off in between both options to run towards and just dies. It's just way too spread out, way too split up, and we already called Order's composition a 5v5, very good front to back. And that's not front to back, that's completely dispersed and scattered, and the Chiefs love that.
Makes Chiefs look so good when they have an Ahri, when they have a Camille. Scattered equals angles, angles equal Camille Ahri. So many different ways for Chiefs to play it, and we were talking in draft about how this is the harder comp to execute, but Chiefs already birthed this game with a bit of a lead, and immediately they had to pay respect to this Ahri, to this Camille once again. Chiefs so far ahead, Rusty. It's almost 10,000 gold lead at 22 minutes. We'll grant that this one has been more competitive, but Chiefs have never felt like they've had no control in this game, as they're still trying to get some of their picks.
Order have picked the bush. It is the Infernal Soul, so they just wanted priority. They'll sacrifice everything to get that prio, and realistically, you can either play to burn the dragon and get aced, or you fight.
As Tally goes in once again, Everfrost this time doesn't get a connection, but Topoon might be spotted over the wall. His flanking angle going to be massive. As Kisei with his own Hextech ultimatum for the Infernal Soul. They're going to flip it over the wall. Arthur, no! It's stolen away. Order keeping the game going, but can they get out alive? Arthur over to Fire Panther and Tally doing the same thing. Topoon running in. A two-man hook shot, wall shot as he's buying his own space. You can see him surviving on the back end as Tally with the triple. Let's keep going. Kisei makes that quadra. Ladies and gentlemen, run it forward. Spirit Rush has run its course, and Corporal ain't going to give the Penta so easily.
The blue trigger to spot him, but he's just too far away. There's no way to cover that distance, and Pentas are earned, not given in League of Legends. So Corporal will limp back to the fountain as he loses the mid inhibitor. Will probably lose the bot inhibitor as well. The only saving grace they have here, Hysterics, is that the dragon was stolen away, and that was a dicey burger flip at that, because I think it was 600 health by the time the smite came out.
We'll get a replay shortly, I'm sure. It's not if the game ends, though. Everfrost again. He's getting poked out. Fire Panther goes into melee range, though, and Topoon just spreads them out. Chiefs with another big pick. It's 4 versus 5. Depth charge stolen. Used on the Nautilus himself, but Dragku is out there with a little hop. Chiefs continuing forward. Brace doesn't care about the mana. It is just about the Baron push and making this seal the deal. As Tally again, this mid laner. I know you wanted it to go to Dragku, but I think Tally has to get MVP after what we've seen fight after fight. Order back at the fountain. Chiefs are your best LCO team. They make this look easy in under 25 minutes. This team is mighty scary heading into playoffs.
I don't think Kisei wants to contest this one. Kevy stuck in the fountain as well. Easy Nexus victory here for the side of the Chiefs. Arthur literally kicks Kisei back into the spawn and says, don't even try. We're ending the game right now. And it was a clean victory in the end from the side of Chiefs. No complaints to be had. Aggressive early game. Good punishing on weak points in the draft from the side of Order. Brilliant play across the board. And I think you might just be right. The solo kills in mid and the work that Ahri did might just be a little bit above what we saw from Dragku, as good as it was, to be fair. And I'm a support bias person. That was good from Tally.
Mac, Tally putting on a masterclass. Honestly, like, I feel like I'm jumping the gun talking about playoffs this early, but it just looks like Chiefs are, without a doubt, the best team in this league consistently through.
Mate, forget about playoffs. I'm waiting for the LCO 1v1 mid special because I want to see Kyosei straight up against Tally in mid lane. That or maybe Chungy could re-enter the conversation as well. We have a lot of Ahri players here, or at least a lot of players that can make Ahri look so damn good. And this, of course, was one of them, Tally popping off there. But look, honourable mention to Drag, who really is having presence everywhere, chatting up a storm in the bot lane from the get-go as well, from the forward interview, Jake, which congratulations, you made it through alive.
I did.
you certainly did. Now, look, Order, on the other hand, didn't make it through this game alive. They had a very rough time. But again, like, I'm looking at Drabku even in these plays around the bloody Herald. He not only secured the Herald, he survived on the back line, and it was just a cluster. Like, Bio tried to do everything right to dodge the hook, but then still met his damn it maker. And execution-wise, what's going on here from Kyosei? Is he the initiator? Is he supposed to be on the front of the comp here? Or did he just get picked off, Rust?
He's meant to be at the front, but it's also really hard to be at the front when the Hecarim's unstoppable and you are stoppable right into an Ahri. So maybe it's about mistiming, but I mean, the way that this fight did start off right was just a little bit too far forward. And so the issue isn't that he's in the front, it's the vision or the awareness perhaps of where Tally is. Because that was essentially two flanks. And again, full credit to Chiefs. I actually think Chiefs learned from one of their early Ls where Tally was constantly getting caught around an Infernal Drake area. He plays the exact same way that Peace did against him, and he's able to find those picks against Order.
Look, so many of these fights do come down to that key point, right? And that's vision. Like, just before that play happened that we saw before, there was a minute and a half long battle just for vision in bloody every single one of those bushes, and I think Chiefs definitely came out on top, being able to see a little more. Dragku, though, look, playing out of his damn mind today and flexing up the storm. Oh yeah, Jake, you don't get to see this all the time, do you?
No, I don't, dude.
Yeah,
Look
we've
at
got some good-looking individuals here.
Good try definition.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've been working for years trying to get that. No, it's about 1%.
Dips, mate, dips, and of course tricep pull downs. But at the moment, look, it's a bit of a sorry.
I agree.
Is it?
It just is, man.
Point,
It just
yes.
is. Yeah, I just had to figure out my brain fart situation. Look, Kitty had one earlier. She passed me the brain fart. Now, fortunately, we got numbers here, and that's probably why my brain went all bloody haywire, cross-wired. Rusty, tell me what this all means.
I mean, what this basically means is that the Chiefs never looked like losing, right? Goal difference, you can see a steady increase for the side of the Chiefs. They did everything right. I love the Shadow Flame builds for mid laners here as well, just quietly against Lulu-type compositions. There's shields going out everywhere, so... I mean, everything going right for Chiefs. The one Drake that Order got was a steal, and it was a burger flip, right? It was 4 people dead for that Drake to stop a soul. So what do you really say here for the side of Chiefs? Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, a much better performance from the Chiefs than the last time they went up against Order as well. So really securing that spot at the top. Do you want me to finish off the other 2 words?
Retrospection.
No, it was yes and good.
Oh, that was the entire interview. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, it was good. Yoza. Yes.
Yeah.
Godlike. They were the 4 words. That was the key. And look, with interviews like that, you too could win games like that. So all Chiefs out there, not all Chiefs, sorry, all coaches out there, take notes. Now let's bring Kitty back into the conversation. Look, I'm tying up my words. Can you please take the reins and take us into someone that knows how to talk?
Yoza. Yes.
Godlike.
Oh, no.
Godlike. Well, someone who is also godlike is Arthur, so let's bring him into the conversation while Mac leaves his chair. So, Arthur, although you say that your teammates misplay sometimes during these LCO games, everyone played amazing tonight. Compliment the boys after such an amazing performance.
Well, today actually everyone played pretty well, I would say. Like Boland get solo kill, get the leads. Mid's definitely solo kill like level 3, make us like good moves. And top lane, I don't know. I think top 1 into actually. It's not everyone.
Well, Tally popped off on the Ahri. Do you have anything to say to Tally?
Well, I think he has a different mindship between scrims and stage game. I think in the scrims R is unplayable, but in stage he's like popping up somehow. So it's like I don't know. I would say he's playing not good on scrims, and he playing really well on stage. So like to hear that.
It's always good that he's playing and performing on these stage games, but Arthur, you have also been performing really well, being the best performing jungle in the LCO Split 1. Who was actually your favorite jungler to play against in the LCO for the stage games?
For this stage game, I would say Barkan, yeah, probably Barkan, because he's playing like aggressive way, which is like most LCO junglers playing like farming and into just scaling, but Barkan actually plays like stage game like aggressive, which is like more Asian style, like so it's like to verse him because it's more fun and more active game state.
Well, talking about fun, it seems like the boys had a lot of fun tonight. I'm gonna let you guys go and celebrate tonight's win because you guys have secured playoffs. Good night.
Thank you.
Again, Ray's just tabbing everywhere, all over his screen. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
That's all you paid attention to.
He's got high APM on and off the rift, doesn't he?
That's it. He's just like straight, just taking in so much damn information, and I'm like, man, I don't understand. This is probably why he's one of the best ADCs in the damn league. But he wasn't good enough to get the Dare MVP this game. He did his job. He did a pretty good job of it. But I feel like there is absolutely no surprises that it was the big man in mid, Tally, who popped off on the Ahri. Whole lot of damage there, 36% of the damage share, 70% of the KP, and he did not fall either. The man was so mobile, Jake. Tell me what he did right today.
It was the solo kill mid. Like, this all bridged from the early game he had, and from there, like, not just the laning phase, but in the team fights. That Dragon team fight is so beautiful to watch. If you look at the 3-man Everfrost, the gold value just from that activation alone, and then how he positions around. It's like Order had no choice but to walk in, and once they did, it was all sealed. So this guy, the mid-game onwards, it was all about Tally, despite us highlighting Dragku, who was great in the early game.
Oh, and I still will. I'll still highlight Dragku. How good was that Nautilus? It was bloody clean. The only tragedy is that I started talking about him, and then he immediately died.
You did curse him.
I apologize, Dragku. This was your MVP until it wasn't.
Well, it did take like a 4-man group gank at like the 13, 14-minute mark, whatever that was, down in the bot lane for him to fall, and he went down to keep Raze alive. So, you know, it wasn't an int per se. It was a, you know, keep my ADC alive, and that was another very big play. But it wasn't the play of the day. So does anyone remember what happened in the earlier games? Jake, I'm looking at you. What's your play of the day?
I've got one this time.
Oh, okay, it has to be, was it Kyose 1v2 in mid?
He's took my one.
It's got to be the LeBlanc play.
It could have been. Kitty, any suggestions?
I have nothing, Mac. All the games went by so quickly. I just feel like today went by really quickly as well.
It was Only's dive bot. That's what it was.
It was Only's dive bot. You reckon that was the play of the day?
He's had a couple of good fights, but
yeah,
I don't think anything stood out as like that, because like so many of the games were done at 5 minutes. So Kyose was nuts. It has to be.
Okay, well, look, production did you dirty, Rusty. It's not that one. It was, however, Peace with a 4-for-1 trade under the mid turret in their game earlier on. So look at this, 16-minute mark, and Mammoth are about to get pounded on. Jake, you want to talk to me?
Look at the poppy.
I mean, just kind of discovering that this happened, right? Like, it's a nice combo. It's a nice all-in, Rusty. I feel like it makes sense. But just kind of unfortunate when Mammoth were already so far down to the game that it didn't matter what they threw out.
I think this was one of those fights because we saw it coming. We said it was going to happen. And so in our minds, we're like, okay, it happened, right? Like, it was good from Peace. But at the same time, Mammoth tried to defend something that was not real.
Yep.
And this is the beauty of what happens when Peace play League of Legends and get leads. They're explosive. They're fun to watch. TN just quietly over there, flash Qs, and just slaps them for a double. That's something that I didn't see the first time. So cheeky little poppy off.
Even
poppy.
Even Peace lady carry going into melee range as well. That's a good part of it too.
True.
Well, look, guys, I'm sad that you guys weren't as excited for the play of the day as I was. But
I want to watch Kyose again. That's all.
Kyose was sick.
You just wanted to watch Kyose. That's it. It was the runner-up. I've just been told by production. So look, maybe next time you'll get your wishes. Maybe they'll come true. That being said, look, Peace had like 2-3 level advantages there over the opponent, and almost a 10k gold lead at the 16-minute mark. So that was absolute domination, if I do say so myself. Now, we can have a look at the standings and see if there's any shift in the table. I believe there may be. Let's see. Pentanet, a clear third. Oh, it's happened! It's taken almost 6 whole bloody weeks. But I'm seeing 1 to 8 there. No ties on the ladder. Oh, this is beautiful, Rusty.
Yeah, no ties. Who would have thought? Never saw this one coming. I mean, even in the LCO last year, we had ties even towards the end of the year. So this is actually quite a pleasant surprise. And it comes from Order losing to the Chiefs, right? And also a couple of very one-sided top versus bottom games that kind of separated the middle of the pack just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's an odd situation, right? You're looking at the difference between first and third is 5 wins. And then the difference between third and fifth is just 2 wins. So
Mac,
we might see a shuffle.
I wanna be the bearer of bad news. Isn't Mammoth still 4? I think Mammoth lost today. Aren't they 4 and 11, the same as Kanga? I think you still have a tie.
Yeah. Wait, no, you're right.
I think you still got a tie, Mac. I'm sorry to get your hopes up.
Jake,
lost a piece.
I hate your attention to detail. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Mammoth will probably fingers crossed. Look at it. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Damn it. Damn it. Let's look at next week's matches because I'm looking forward to these because Jake's not going to be on the show. So 6 p.m. we got Order going up against Gravitas. 7 p.m. Mammoth and Chiefs. 8 p.m. Kanga and Direwolves, and Peace and Pentanet to round out the day. Jake, look, I love you. That was a joke. I hope you're not taking any offense there with banter. I don't know if you guys do that overseas on other broadcasts, but we have good banter over here in the LCO. Anyway, look, couple of games here. I'm looking at that final game of the day as my sort of favorite, but that Direwolves Kanga game could also be spicy, right?
Are you asking me, Mac?
I was asking, yep.
Yeah, I think so. But to be fair, I thought that about Kanga today and they got absolutely blasted. I'd be more excited about Peace versus Pentanet. That is a matchup I'll be waiting for. After watching Order versus Peace today, being more one-sided than we kind of expected, I feel like Peace and Pentanet will have a very different vibe with 2 very aggressive teams and 2 awesome jungle matchups that are going to lead us into it.
Yeah, and Rusty, look, talk to me. Is that what you're looking at as well? Do you think we're going to see upsets anywhere else here on these games?
I mean, I think it's bang on for probably game of the week already, right? Game 4 of the first day. I'm not even sure what the second day is yet off the top of my head. Direwolves Kanga can be explosive. There's a lot of opportunity there. That is must win for Kanga if you want to contest Direwolves for the 5th place spot and getting into playoffs. That is absolutely crucial for them. So I expect everything in the kitchen sink thrown at Direwolves.
Very true. Now, Kitty, anything you want to touch on as well before we finish off the show for the day?
Why does it have to be everything in the kitchen sink? Why can't it be like just everything?
It's very difficult to throw the kitchen sink. So if you include that into the mix, it shows a lot of effort, right?
It's more than everything. It's like when you're 11 out of 10, right?
Thank you. I am 11 out of 10. Am I? Oh my god, I'm so flustered now. Thank you, Matt.
Well
oh my
done.
god. Well, hopefully everyone had a great day. You are all 11 out of 10 as well. And thank you, Jake, for joining the LCO tonight.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah, I'm getting vibes of when I sent the kiss to Appy yesterday and then Lisa bloody stole it.
Just straight up pass interception.
Wasn't a compliment, Kitty. I'm trying to be mean to you today. All right, now, Jake, thank you very much for coming. Any final words to all the Hysterics fans out there before we finish?
Yeah, the couple of fans, I guess. No, it's been a pleasure to be on the broadcast again. You know, never made it onto OPL, so after what was like a 4-year grind, then getting LPL, coming all the way back, like it is a pleasure to be here, and I would come back anytime. Matches were great today, even though they were one-sided. It was good to finally cast with Rusty again after 7 years.
Too long, mate. Too long.
Man,
too long.
Has a beautiful voice, and hopefully we can get it on the LCO again at some point. But for now, that is it for week 6. That's it for the Super Weeks. And next week, it's going to be a day of 2 days. It's going to be week 7. It's going to be fun, and it's kicking off with a banger. So we'll see you then. Stay hydrated. We'll see you next week.
Backwards, but it doesn't matter. The Wombo in the pit. It's an absolute hot pot here from Peace as MEC are obliterated once more. A great finding as bronze ulti would have been great if they weren't so far behind.
This is a desperate fight, it feels like. Tango.
Take flush forward from Lionel, goes onto Rogue, but the death sentence lands on Only, who doesn't have his ulti available. Leaps into the thick of it as well, being immune, but the needlework is applied through. Now that it's down, Pentanet all in once again. Falcon stops from getting the kick flash, gets it in the end anyway on top of Liv. Following forward, they're not running backwards. Pentanet all in, a double for Yuri. He flashes for the charm. Liv's next on the menu, boys. Pentanet eating them alive. Crosszone comes in and a bit of an electric spray, nobody getting spotted out. I love that Kyose runs straight back in, double distortion as well, in front of the juggler! That's clutch here from the Direwolves mid lane, and nobody once again just has to sit and listen. Sit something, Stinky misses the hook, the flash away, but the turnaround from Frost at the curtain call has to now deal with the Graves. Zoran is running forward, and look at this Olaf, he can't 1v1 in a Velios. Zone orders jungler away. The rest of the team coming on in as Herald is stolen away. To make a death rocket onto Dracu. He flashes, trying to survive with the Hextech ultimatum. Locks down Kissei. Kevy's going to be next on the menu, and Biopanther runs in with no mana. Tally cleaning up for the resets, and that shutdown means nothing on Corporal. A double, making the final kill. Go over to Dracu. Chiefs are here to play.
Hey, look, Menulog.
It looks like a Shurima thing going on.
One of those eliminated skin lines. Is it that Jax
It's
one?
that Blitzcrank skin. No.
Negative.
Oh, it's a Hecarim skin.
Ooh,
But I don't know what it's called. It's... Wait. Yeah, wait, I don't know. It's Lancer Hecarim or something?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, but he doesn't have one, so it's, you know, like zero Lancer Hecarim.